Hello and welcome to ExQueeriencePoints, your favorite all-queer Starfinder podcast. I'm the GM, Miyu, and I want to extend a very special thank you for watching us, listening to us, and supporting our project here. This is a project that's very near and dear to our hearts, and your support means the world to us. We want to let you know that we are still taking entries for our giveaway. If you've been to our Facebook page or our website, you might have seen our awesome character sketches. Well, we've decided to give away 3 sketches from the artist Zuzuarty. All you have to do to be entered is follow our account on Twitter, @EQPoints, and retweet our tweet about the contest. That's it! Pretty easy, huh? We'll do a random drawing of 3 names, and we'll announce them on July 4th via our Twitter account, Facebook page, and website. And as a shout out on the episode following the drawing. Don't forget you can find us on Google Play Music and iTunes, which means, if you can, it would be a huge help if you could go and give us a 5-star rating and a review. Now, back to our normal programming. Hello, and welcome to ExQueeriencePoints. I'm your GM, Miyu, and I'm guiding our queer cast through our space adventures. The new crew of the spaceship Zephyr consists of Captain Kira.
Hi.
Pilot Absco.
Hello.
Science Officer / Gunner Phaedra.
Hey.
And the Mechanic Angus.
Hello.
Science Officer, please report on crew status.
Science Log Report, Episode 4. Morale is high as our crew has dispatched Gideon and received payment from Solomon, as well as a new mission to retrieve a drift engine from someone named Meryl Swarth for our new ship, the Zephyr. By my calculation, survivability is around 70%. That is all.
That is better than anticipated.
Survivability better than anticipated. All right, so, like you said, you guys dispatched of Gideon. You have a new ship. You have clues on where to go get a drift drive. What is your next order of business?
Do we know where the Ferribarium is?
Yes, you do. The Ferribarium is in the diaspora. And it is an old trade ship that a bunch of Isoki took over and have turned into a trade post, parked in a stationary orbit. And
so this means
currently, go ahead.
We get to fly there.
Yes. You have thrusters, so you can fly on thrusters.
Nice.
Yes, you get to actually get your ship to take off.
We get to thrust our way there?
Yes, you do.
Someone had to say it.
Raising boom.
Alrighty. So, we were last at the spacebar. Spacebar.
I'd like to head back to the hangar and get some rest. I'm still a little injured and I'm a little tired over here. Before we take off.
I didn't even think about that.
All right.
I was hurt pretty bad, and I appreciate Makira for healing, but I could use a rest.
Well, there you go. You now have an overnight rest. Don't you feel rested?
Much better. Much, much better. Thank you. Okay, ready to go.
Well, yeah, we should head out.
Yeah. Let's
thrust away.
Let's thrust away.
All right. So you guys hop on board your new ship. Said it's a pretty decent ship. It's definitely been stripped down. There's like random wires, bare wires hanging out. You know, it was in the middle of a pretty intense strip down, but it's definitely flyable right now.
Did we inspect it or like apply the repair kit?
No.
Everyone just kind of wants to hop on board and hit go.
I mean,
and see what happens.
The pilot would do some pre-flight checks, I feel.
Yes. Yes, your pre-flight check shows that it is currently not in nearly as good a shape as it should be, but It is flyable. All the systems are attached. A couple little wires, some wire nuts, a little bit of jury rigging. You got it ready to go.
Excellent. Do the guns work?
As far as you can tell, yes, they do. Do you want to test them in the hangar?
No.
I wouldn't say that doesn't sound like a great idea, but it is your game. You're welcome to do so if you would choose.
But I could do an engineering check.
As far as you can tell, everything listed on your sheet works. That is what is still in operating order.
Perfect.
So there are still shields. There is still some armor plating. You have your basic computer, the torpedo launcher, the forward torpedo launcher, and the turret laser cannon do seem to be in operating order. All the thrusters, defenses, so on and so forth.
Okay. All right, well, Captain.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that is Kira's reaction, like, oh, yeah, I'm the captain.
That is me. Yes, it is. We should hop on board and get going.
All right. I feel like
very nice use of the official terminology there.
So underqualified.
Honestly, right. I feel like all of us are. Let's be honest here.
Just a little bit.
Be the captain.
All right.
All right. So everyone hops on board.
All right.
Ship powers up.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to warm up the engines, I guess.
Engines go through their purge cycle. And they fire up. And they're warmed up, ready to roll.
Does anyone know how to open the cargo bay doors? Or the hangar bay?
I head down to engineering. I'm assuming our science officer would be in charge of something like that. I don't know. Not me.
Well,
is there like a way? Because I'm not familiar with this.
Maybe a computers check.
Yeah, give me a computers check.
I would think Alsco would have set it up so we could, remote to the doors and tell him to open.
Well,
I'm gonna throw a computers check. That's
oh my god.
Yes.
You're like
22.
You are fully aware. You are aware that currently the only way to open the doors would be from the console sitting there on the hangar floor. But you're pretty certain you can tap into it and get a remote for the hangar bay doors.
Just like hot wire it to like go to like our little comm devices.
A little Bluetooth connectivity,
Yeah.
You go to your science station.
Yeah, I'm like,
so after a few minutes of poking buttons, yes, you are able to tap in enough that with some proximity you can open and close the hangar bay doors.
Way to science that.
Thank you, Phaedra.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, so
there they go. The doors open.
I think at that point, Absco punches it.
Thrust.
Give me a piloting check. Oh yeah, nice. Absco punches it, and y'all are off. Y'all are just.
I see why he's the pilot.
Another 22. That's awesome. Let's keep rolling those.
Yes. Sure enough, there you are, Absco. After a month stranded on this thing, you are finally behind the wheel again.
Oh yeah, they're ready.
Yeah. So also to let you know, when you are piloting, because of its maneuverability, you get a +1 to your piloting when piloting this thing.
Nice.
So yeah, it's got good maneuverability. It's above average. Speed's pretty decent, while still maintaining good control. Little slow perhaps from what you would prefer with like a little shuttle or a fighter frame, but it'll definitely work. Y'all are off.
All right. Do we know where we're going?
I have no
which direction is the Fairabarium in? Because I know
start of the right and straight on till morning.
Phaedra, can you?
No, you have it. You have it. let me see. Do y'all have like any kind of astrogation skill or anything like that? Navigation?
I think
There's
it's
skill associated with that.
physical sciences.
I think it's the science officer's job.
Yeah, I think it's physical
Thanks.
science.
I have survival to point us in the right direction.
No, the Fairbarium is actually marked on your map, so it's one of the areas that is plugged in. One of the things you notice, the diaspora, while it's still considered near space, there's enough beacons there to make accurate jumps. There's a lot of it locally that isn't really scouted out. It's a very mysterious kind of place, but you do have the Fairbarium. It should take you a couple of days at cruise.
Oh, excellent! I can
We're
spend
cruising.
Well, yeah. While we're doing that, I'll spend some time trying to, effect some repairs on the interior of the ship.
All right, give me your engineering check.
Engineering check is a 26 with a natural 20. Thank you very much.
Look at you going through just like do. I mean, putting wires back, like everywhere you go, you're just cleaning that place up.
It's just like, like the speed rounds, like in NASCAR when they're like taking out the
More or less, like for some reason, working on this ship just feels super familiar to you. Like you just, like I said, it's a modular ship. So everything is, once you figure it out, everything's real easy. It's meant to be put together and taken apart.
Excellent.
So you find yourself just running through, once you figure out where all the right tabs are and stuff, it's do.
Cool.
Plug and play.
As I'm, taking breaks with people for meals or whatever, I'm just like, this ship is a dream. She just goes right back together. I love it.
That she does.
I think Absco takes time to familiarize themselves with the computer system, because they know that if a computer is against you, that you're never going to go anywhere. So can I roll like a computer's check to see if I can?
Yes, please do.
Ooh.
Nice.
18 on the table for a 24. Nice. Okay, yeah, no, this computer, again, you're finding it very easy to use. It's a very basic computer, very basic system, but it's a very ubiquitous system meant to be very user-friendly. So you're finding everything you need, all the reports, all the cameras, everything you need to see whatever you need.
Is it more primitive, like button controlled, or is it like voice controlled?
It's mostly button controlled. Okay. There are some voice control options. Every once in a while it messes up, it mishears you. Okay. You go 16 degrees to starboard and it says, "We are out of starburst."
So it's basically
things like that. Yeah, more or less. Yeah, it's like a Siri kind of thing. But one of the things you find is it doesn't have any auto function. Okay. Everything has to be done manually. This computer does not have any auto nodes.
Have to just crank down.
No auto targeting, nothing like that. It's just like you are actually having to steer this ship.
Okay.
All right.
Does this ship have a med bay?
It does not. It has 3 cargo holds and a smuggler's compartment.
Can I repurpose
you can tell there's a smuggler's
holds?
Compartment. I would like to say you can tell there's a smuggler's compartment because there's a pad to enter the door. You have yet to figure out how to open the door.
So there could be stuff in there.
Oh.
We are carrying. What if it's illegal things?
Well, then I guess y'all are pirates.
I would be shocked. I would be shocked to find out that Gideon wasn't having contraband in the ship.
True.
I am the captain, and I don't know what I'm carrying.
I'll see if I can get the door open for you.
Well, somebody's got to.
So I'll give that a computer's check, I guess, or an engineering check.
Yes, Computer. Well, depends on how you're going to go about it.
Being an engineer, I would go with that.
All right, so you're going to take the panel off and start touching wires together.
Oh, an 11? What happened? What happened?
That was okay.
You give yourself a nice shock doing it after about an hour of work. You hear, I'm certain, a nice string of expletives from the new R working on it.
I'm gonna go see what Angus is up to, and with this pad.
He has taken the panel off of the wall. There's just a bunch of wires hanging out, and he's apparently just touching wires together, trying to figure out this panel that you found, and you only found it because, you know, bare seams there, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to, like, surround with some of these wires.
I also feel like Absco would be, like, watching them from the console and roll a computer's check to help.
Okay.
Okay. At this point, computer's check is not going to help because he has taken it away from the computer and gone straight to the wires.
Fair enough.
But Phaedra's 18?
18 for my engineering.
Ooh.
Phaedra's 18. You get closer. You're pretty sure the red wire does connect to the blue wire. You're just not sure exactly what they're doing. Like, at this point, y'all are both looking at it going, who the hell wired this thing? Like, this makes no sense because there's a bunch of dummy wires in there. Obviously, someone wanted to make it very difficult to get in there.
Space goblins.
Well, it makes sense that it's hard to get into, but this is ridiculous.
What do I got?
Everyone is obsessed with the smuggler's compartment now.
Well, we're flying for like 2 days. I think we have time to check it out.
I feel like every couple of hours, one of us goes over there and like kicks it.
Oh no, no! Angus does not leave this panel until it's open. Perhaps a bit obsessive, but there's a job to do. I'm gonna do it.
Is this something where? Go ahead, Kira.
Did we bring Gideon's dead body with us?
No.
That is a question. Did you?
No.
Because if we did, I could do something about this.
I'm scared.
No.
We actually didn't discuss what we did with the bodies.
That's true.
No, really. Everyone went home, rested, got on the ship, and took off.
I mean, there have to be some body droid fairies or something.
If we have the body, I can do something about this. If not, I can't.
I would not have brought the body. If you guys did it without me, that's your business. But
I mean,
the cleaning crew is going to have a hell of a time tomorrow.
I probably would have brought the body though, because I would have done it.
What's Kira's argument here? I want to follow this thread.
Right.
I can do grave words to make a corpse babble. For like, I think it's like a couple minutes.
So I want to understand that your intention is to bring Gideon's body along for your ventriloquism show that's going to just rock the galaxy, right?
Well, I would have brought him because I mean, like, he probably has more information because we destroyed his computer. So he probably has more information that he's not letting on because we destroyed the computer.
Look, the computer's not destroyed. We just haven't spent the time to try and break into it.
I mean, you do have his, like, data logs that you could spend the time to.
I do.
But I remember some of it was destroyed.
Some was, but we don't know what. So if you would bring the body, that's great. What'd you do with the goblins, the Yosoki, and the Lashunta?
Oh, not as important. They're still in there. I would have brought the head honcho though. Like, he's with me. I have Gideon. He's
just like dragging people around.
Oh my gosh, that's so macabre. Okay.
Actually, he's an android. Did you just bring his head?
I could have.
I don't know what you need for this spell.
I need
just the
corpse.
important part.
It says a corpse.
Oh, well, yeah, okay.
The whole thing. Like, I'm dragging it around. Like a teddy bear.
Okay.
It's like
Noted.
by like one limb.
I mean,
noted.
Part of Absco's like, he deserves
Apparently
it.
your captain is dragging a body around.
Did
I mean, okay.
Did Absco set the do not disturb on the hangar before we left?
I feel like the deliveries is full of bodies at this point. And
I feel like the do not disturb is always on the door.
Exactly, like, do not deliveries.
Okay, cool.
Y'all have this adventuring thing down to a T.
No, like, I mean, Absco hasn't seen anything this, like, severe. He's seen, like, they've seen some shit, but, like, this is something whole new, and they're like, well, I guess this is where we're at now. Hauling around android bodies. All right.
I mean, I've got some necromancy, so it would make sense that I just always have a body on hand. Just in case, guys. Just in case.
I mean,
I honestly cannot argue with that logic at all. So
pretty much. No, I mean,
necromancers do as necromancers do. I got nothing for it.
Who knows what goes on in the mind of a necromancer?
This is going to be a grave adventure.
So sure, you know what? You have Gideon's body on board.
He's sitting in the captain's chair.
No.
Just like propped him up.
I propped him up so I could cast this spell on him.
Oh, okay.
And like,
all right, so Kira has brought out Gideon's body. She's decided she knows what to do about this door. She has brought out Gideon's body.
I am still
and
in
props
engineering.
it up in the captain's
I do not
chair.
know this.
As far as I know, I believe Angus's exact words were, "I am not leaving this panel until it opens."
Which the panel is not in the main cabin, is it?
It's not in the main cabin, but you would definitely have seen Kira dragging Gideon's body down the hall.
I would like to roll an engineering check to see if I get the panel open.
Go ahead, roll your engineering check.
14, for pity's sake.
No.
I'm still working on it.
It's just like me and Angus like in this room trying to get this panel open. And like just like in the background, like in the doorway, it's like Kira's tiny self just like trying to like drag this body across the floor.
I feel like Absco's following behind her with some like towelettes because you know that Gideon is leaking fluids.
Oh, gross.
Well, his head was split open, like down the middle.
Yeah.
Fair. I did do that. Phaedra, make your engineering check. So you can get this door open.
All right, Kira, so you're going to cast Grave Words.
13.
Yeah.
Dang it.
He's sitting up in the captain's chair, and I'm like, I've got like my hands like near his head, and I'm like, if I can just get this correctly, and I'm trying to like tap into his mind so that I can cast Grave Words.
Oh, you do. You cast Grave Words. His eyes light up, bling, and he sits there and he goes, "Mom always made the best spaghetti. I don't know where in the hell you came from. Bologna sandwiches are just terrible for my digestion." And then his eyes go dark.
Perhaps you should reread the verbiage of that spell.
Like as soon as I hear Gideon's voice, I'm like, "You son of a bitch."
Just so you know, just so everyone knows, the corpse, which is touched, you can't ask it specific questions or communicate with it at all. It utters random sentences for one round with a 10% chance that this information is of some use to you. The good news is you can cast this over and over and over again.
Is this a cantrip?
Yes.
Oh my dog. Okay.
This is the worst thing ever.
After the first time, everyone's like, "Oh, that can't be what I think it is," so they keep working. But after like the second or third time, y'all,
I mean,
you better be in this room.
Absco is just going to keep count of how many times that Gideon mentions hot dogs.
You're up to 27.
Oh my gosh. Let us know whenever Phaedra and I can re-roll engineering too, just so that we can make sure we keep working on this door.
Okay. Well, I'm just... am I correct in assuming that you just continually keep casting this? Okay. This has now gone on for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more castings. And he has each time just sat there. He just sits there just babbling about random stuff. And literally none of it is of any use to you at this point.
While this is happening... Hold on.
Of course, as soon as I count it out. Go ahead.
While this is happening, I want to take advantage of the Starfinder ability to just take 20. Which, I don't know if you're familiar or not, but if you have enough time to sit somewhere and work on a task, you can just take 20.
It takes four times the normal amount of time.
Right. And then it's just 20 plus my modifier, so that gives me a 26.
Wow, it's only 4 hours this time?
I'm sorry, you said 26?
Yes.
All right, noted. Yeah, he's been babbling on and on, talking about dogs and cats and why can't they ever just get along, how stupid goblins are, and then how wonderful goblins are, and then how stupidly wonderful goblins are, and then how wonderfully stupid goblins are. And eventually, you cast it, like he's just getting exasperated, and his eyes light up, and he just spouts off a string of numbers.
Oh.
Is anyone writing that down?
I would be, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my goodness. And then so I'm like, by the end of this task, I have a list about foods that he doesn't like, animals he doesn't like, and people he doesn't like. And I'm like, these could all be passwords, I guess. I don't know.
And then yeah, he just shoots out this string of mostly numbers, few letters thrown in there just for fun. And then his eyes go dark again.
What are you gonna do with that cat?
I've done it. I've got the code. I run over to them and I'm like, this is the code. I got it right here. Look it. And I read it off to them.
I'm like looking at the very top and it says bologna sandwiches. And I'm like, I
don't get it.
It's
really
the bottom. Bottom. Look at it.
I'm looking at it. I see numbers and letters, password of sorts, coordinates maybe.
And it's the code that we're looking for. If it's not, it's one that we're gonna be looking for. Here.
Okay, well, I mean, we've already taken this panel apart.
Well, I want you to put it back together.
What?
Time is money.
Yeah, with your taking 20 there, Angus, you're about halfway into this thing, really taking your time going through it, and the captain is demanding that you put the panel back together and try this code.
Kira, you know I love you, but if you don't leave me alone while I work on this, I will go crazy.
I said the password.
Which will do us no good with the door taken apart, will it?
Well, if you put it back together, it'll take you the same amount of time that it would to just get into this thing. So why don't you put the door back together?
It's
and then we have a full door.
It's 50-50. I'm going the way I'm going.
I'm the captain.
True.
You hear Absco over the comms. She's right, you know.
And I say, put this door back together.
You better roll something based on charisma, lady.
I certainly can. I'm real good at that.
Well, that would be what makes you captain then, because otherwise I'm just going to keep working.
Oh my god.
That is an 8. A 2 on the table for an 8.
So, no, I'm going to keep working the way I'm working. You can go sit up with your little puppet and get more information if that's what you want to do. But I'm getting the job done.
Or I can bring him in here, and while you're working, you can just smell his dead body.
I'm going to roll a stealth check.
Okay.
Ah, okay.
Rough.
14 with the 2 on the table. Even like kind of stealthing, you're still fairly stealthy.
Is there a way to send GM private message?
Yes, /GM space, and then you can type whatever you want.
Do a test before you send what you actually want to send, just in case. So, I'm going to
/GM.
I'm rolling an intimidate on Kira.
Okay.
Oh, good. I also got an 8. We both rolled 2s. Awesome.
So at this point, Kira is trying to convince you to put the panel back together, and Angus is standing there trying to scare off Kira. And meanwhile, absolutely no work is being done on the door.
Yes.
So, Kira is arguing, and she says, well, I hope that in your next battle, you don't need any healing.
Oh!
Ouch.
Ouch! Oh! Burn!
If what you're saying is that you cannot be counted on in battle to make sure that I don't stop people from coming and killing you, that is something I will take note of.
I mean, I can still heal myself.
Well, you'll be touching yourself a whole lot as they are beating you down.
Well, that's what I gotta do. I gotta do it.
I'm telling you, this is...
Phaedra is just gonna yell out, Dad, please stop fighting.
You go do your job. I'm doing my job. Leave me be.
Did you want to switch jobs? Because you're being awful bossy.
I'm not being bossy. I'm doing my job. Leave me alone.
As the captain.
You are entitled to an opinion.
Can I pick Kira up and just take her out of the room?
Yes.
I am smacking Phaedra like in the head, like, let me go.
Wow, good to see such teamwork going on. Woo!
Without Gideon to hate, now we get to know each other. And it does not help that you have inflicted the voice of the most hated person in all of our lives on us for the last who knows how long, just babbling about sandwiches and goblins. I might be a little testy because of that. Then come over and boss me around. That's going to work great. Great.
All right, so, let's see. Angus is working on the panel, I guess?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Kira? I'm scared to ask, but what do you do?
Is going to take the body, and she's going to try and hide it.
All right. I guess that would be a stealth check, maybe a disguise check if you're trying to disguise the body.
Yeah, let's disguise him.
Okay, you're going to disguise the body as what, like a lamp or a tree or a ficus?
He's got some limbs, I can disguise it, but I don't, probably.
That's a 10 on the table.
Well, here's what happens, though, Kira, after your little tussle with Angus there. You come back and Gideon's body isn't there. We went silent again.
Oh, no.
I know what's going on with your audio, but we can't hear you. But your face was priceless.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know what's...
A message saying, we are having issues from our very own Phaedra and Kira seems to be an accurate statement.
Very much. I think that is a little bit self-evident, given that they used a whiteboard to tell us. Joys of podcasting. Technical issues. You come back, and the body is gone. Gideon's body is just gone.
I sit down, and I take a minute to breathe. And so there's only one option as to who could have taken this body, because we were all in the same room, except for one person.
How very clue of you.
I'm right. I'm going to go find Absco.
Absco is sitting right there in front of you at the helm.
Perfect. So I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts.
So, Absco, what are the surface thoughts that she detects?
Honestly.
And his last words were hot dogs.
And okay.
Out of character. Little metagame in here. I'm just gonna say, if you start asking questions about things, that tends to be people's surface thoughts. Even if they don't want to tell you, that's what comes to mind. But you do you. I'm going back to working on a door.
So I walk up and I gently, I'm not even touching him, but I put my arm around Absco, not touching him.
Them.
And I say, did you happen to see a body?
Oh, you mean the one that has been talking incessantly for the past 4 hours?
Well, yeah, it was done talking.
Yeah, and then he wanted to go for a walk. A long walk off of a very short airlock.
Well, see.
Is this what I missed when I couldn't hear anything?
Oh my god.
Well, this was messaged to me when Absco rolled his stealth, which nobody questioned.
Pretty soon, there's gonna be more bodies than just the babbling one.
Well, may they be of our enemies.
Hopefully.
I smile winsomely.
I can think
Kira.
of 3 right now.
Kira, give me a perception check. 22.
I like that.
You see on the readouts on the computer, there is one up in the corner that looks very much like the string of letters and numbers, or mostly numbers, but with some letters that you got from him. And there's a little green dot pinging.
What is that right there, Absco? What does that mean?
I don't know. Let me check. Absco is using a computer's check. I really have no idea with a 10.
Actually, with a 10, you know what it is.
Oh, okay.
That's your identification beacon, broadcasting your identification and position.
That's our transponder.
Oh.
Can I do a little bit more digging about what our transponder is saying about us?
Absolutely.
What would I roll for that?
Oh, give me computers.
All right.
I'll be digging around, seeing what the computer tells you.
Ooh, nice.
That would be a 20.
Total of 20.
Yep.
Your transponder has you as the Zephyr, piloted by a Captain Merrill Swarth.
Oh no.
No!
And is tied to the Abadar Corporation.
Oh, well, that's not so bad. Can I roll a culture check to see if I know this Merrill Swarth?
Yeah, go ahead.
I know who Meryl Swarth is.
I know the name.
I can do a culture check.
Okay. We've got a 10 from Absco.
Absco, isn't it actually a 15? Don't you get a +5 for things dealing with that specifically?
No.
Because it's corporate?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I guess I do. So that would be a 15 for me.
So the 15 tells you that, as far as you know of no Meryl Swarth who is affiliated with Absco Corporation, or with Abadar Corporation, Absco Corp. with Abadar
Someday.
Corp. Kira.
Nice.
No, you've actually heard of Meryl Swarth before, and he is most definitely not associated with Abadar Corp. He is a free captain. One of the pirates that roams through the diaspora.
Yay.
And so, going to
I think that we should stop whatever that is. Please.
I mean, From what I understand of spaceships, and I mean, I might be wrong, but turning off your transponder is akin to just turning off the ship.
Actually, you know that you can disable your transponder. You won't show up on anyone's radars or anything like that, which means you could potentially get like run into.
Yeah.
Because you won't show up until they hit like, sensor range. But yeah, you can turn off your transponder.
Okay. It sure is possible, but there are some downsides.
Well, whatever downside it is, I can't imagine it would be worse than what would happen if we kept it on.
What happened to our good friend Solomon changing all of the paperwork for us? All right. Can I roll? Would it be computers or engineering to try to?
Computers is fine.
All right. I'll see if I can do it from where I'm at in the piloting terminal.
Okay.
Roll a 13.
You press the identifier, and it pops up with a dialogue window that says, "Would you like to turn off your transponder?"
Yes.
Your transponder turns off.
Okay. All right.
It does give you a warning that running without a transponder is illegal in packed space, but
Well, we are not too far from all the pirates, so might as well fly like them.
So now we know that the person that we are going to go see is the person that's supposed to be piloting the ship.
This gets better and better. What's our plan, Captain?
Well, I think that we should just try to avoid any and every ship
that might hit us.
That might hit us. Did I mention I was underqualified?
I like hit the comms. I'm like, Phaedra, I might need someone on sensors, please.
He's like, how would I go about like checking sensors?
It's just a
computers check. Or just computers check.
Got a 16.
Okay, are you actually untrained in computers?
Yes.
Oh my
god. So that's actually a 12.
Rough.
At best. Yeah, you're sitting there just hitting buttons. Like, you're sure it's fine. You're sure you're fine.
Phaedra, you are our science officer, right?
I'm sorry, did I laugh out loud?
When everyone voted me science officer, I was thinking something more like medical science.
Or like a greenhouse on board.
No.
Yes. What's happening?
Space botany.
Space botany. That's why I wanted to turn one of the cargo holds into a med bay.
I don't recall anyone voting you into a role. I recall saying, I'm going to be an engineer. And Absco saying, I'm going to be a pilot. And then there were 3 jobs left. But maybe I'm misremembering.
Well,
the problem here is that engineering is one of her highest.
Well, Angus.
Yes.
You sitting there, messing with this door panel, right?
Yes.
Got it all apart. Think you finally found it, right? Touch the 2 wires together, and nothing happens there.
Okay.
Suddenly, up in the what would you the cockpit, I guess.
Flight deck.
What am I? The deck. Up on deck. you get blaring alarms.
No.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
What is that? Someone turn it off. Turn it off.
I am running to the nearest gun.
Okay, you hop on the gun. You are ready. You see nothing.
Is there anything like around that like can be targeted? I just want to like basically look around and see, because to me immediately I'm like something is approaching us.
Give me a perception check. All right, you see a very
12.
suspicious-looking object off the forward starboard.
Is it a body?
No, come on, that would be aft.
Oh.
I get on comms and I'm like, Captain, everyone, we have an unknown object on the starboard side.
Now starboard is.
Left?
It could be your right or it could be your left.
Pretty sure that's right, and port is left.
It's to the right. Port is the left side of the ship, looking forward.
Yep.
Right.
So
it's your other left.
Absco is actually going to check the sensors from his station. From their station. Oh no.
That's the fourth.
Absco, I mean, you see something on the fore starboard.
Is it ship shaped?
Vaguely.
We should avoid that.
Is that a piloting check then?
I mean, if we see them, they see us. So
not true.
So I'll roll to avoid them. Like change our course.
Okay.
Unless that's the Farabarium.
I don't think so.
Oh man. Okay.
12 plus the 1 for the plus 1 for the piloting on the ship. 13. No, you manage a turn. It's not the most graceful or tightest bank, but you manage to turn and make sure that you make a nice veer around what, as you pass through it, you realize is an asteroid.
Ooh. All right.
Just a small ship-sized asteroid.
Thank you.
Small ship-sized, ship-shaped asteroid.
I said vaguely ship-shaped. It's vaguely kind of long.
Cool. Did I get into
oblong
the door?
Asteroid.
No, you did not get into the door.
Damn it.
And Absco, that's when you realized the alarm was that someone was trying to break into the hold.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's cool.
What perfect timing.
Still checked.
I'm gonna roll computers to see if I can disable that alarm.
Okay.
That's not bad.
You can't disable the alarm as far as you can tell. What you can find is that the best and quickest way to disable this alarm is to punch in the correct code on the panel.
All right.
Is that going to be the same as our transponder number?
Probably not.
I take the chance and, is there a panel up here I can do that on, or is it the door control panel?
No, the panel is currently laying at Angus's feet.
Gotcha. So just
completely disconnected.
Numbers.
Are there still belongings and stuff on this ship?
Not that you've seen so far.
Okay.
Everything was stripped down pretty good.
I'm just making sure there's nothing that we're missing.
And so,
I just want to be
as you travel. Yes.
That even with if I rolled a nat 20 with my bonus, I could not get this door open. Is what you're saying, correct?
I will tell you this, as a GM, there's a slight difference, very slight difference between taking 20 and rolling a nat 20.
Okay.
Rolling an at 20 gives you I generally, even on skill checks, even though it's not raw, I do give you that critical success because it's fun knowing that you can critically fail.
Okay.
Basically, taking 20, this is a door that is specifically meant to be very difficult to break into.
Okay.
Which I would think would be actually, if you look at it from a certain perspective, a very good thing for y'all.
Yeah, I mean,
except for the fact that for the remainder of the trip to Ferribarium, that alarm does not stop.
Mm-hmm.
Of course not.
Now, the alarm I should be able to disconnect if I just put everything back together. Right?
If you put everything back together, you still have to enter the correct access code to shut off the alarm.
Well, I mean, like, mechanically, just shut it off.
Give me an engineering to see if you can shut off the alarm. Now your perspective has changed. Now your goal has changed.
Indeed. Oh my, why? That is
20
the
is just
third
right there.
2 I have rolled.
No.
Phaedra.
That alarm is just going.
How long has this alarm been going off now?
At this point, with this much work on it, this alarm has been going off for a couple of hours.
Okay, at this point, Phaedra is fed up, so I'm going to walk into this stupid godforsaken room with a stupid godforsaken panel that is now on the floor and detached, and I'm going to try to do an engineering check just to shut off the alarm so I can get some peace and quiet.
Okay. The RNG gods do not wish for this alarm to go off with that 14. I'll tell you what, the 14, the alarm stops. You're not exactly sure what you did to make it stop, so you're not exactly sure what would start it up again.
This is like the boat
I'm just
with
glad
the
that it
leaks,
stopped.
where we're all just putting fingers in holes.
You know, and that first engineering roll was so good. So
I
good.
know.
It was.
I had hope. And of course, it was all a lie.
Can I ask for an RNG purge where we just all roll like the max amount of D20s?
Yeah, go ahead, RNG purge.
Oh my gosh. So many 2s.
Yeah. Okay, so I will spend the rest of the time that I need to just get the panel put back together.
All right, roll me an engineering check.
Let me know when everyone's done purging.
I think we're good.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, hey. A 19
You managed?
plus 6.
Yes, 25, you managed to put it back together without activating the alarm again.
Well, that's something. So, I'm assuming you guys would have caught me up on the transponder?
Yes.
So, are we saying that that's a computer check or an engineering check to deal with that? Like, to be able to change...
What are you wanting to do with it? Are you wanting to physically deal with the physical transponder itself, or enter the computer system and access it that way?
Which way is going to let us change its designation? So that
would be a computer's check.
Okay, so I would like to work with Absco to see what we can do to change that and then get it back online so it doesn't say what it was saying.
Okay, so who is going to make the primary check and who is going to be aiding?
I have a +6 to computers. What do you have?
The same.
Okay.
My rolls have been garbage. So
mine have been okay. So let's try that.
I will roll to assist first.
Okay, give me the assist.
Oh, I should have rolled to do it.
Oh, man.
24.
And you get a +2 on this roll.
Oh, 20. I rolled a 22 with my bonus, and I get +2 to that, so that's 24.
Yes. What would you like your transponder to read? Like, can we change it to read something? Yes. No. What would you like that to be?
No, hold on. Now that we've got it up and changed, I'd like Kira, tell us what it should be. You're obviously going to be the captain here, so.
Oh no, I'm the captain.
Oh, you're the captain. You just don't interrupt someone when they're working.
Well, you put the door back together, didn't you?
Sure. Yes, you get the win for that. Great. The door is back together.
Well, then it should read the Zephyr, which is the name of the ship, and then Captain. The door is back together, and Kira is the captain.
Just Kira. There's no last name. You just want to say.
You can put the last name. I don't really care. It's Comoran. It's fine.
And do we want to change the number in any way so that it doesn't match the one for the previous name?
Yeah, it should be number 7.
Zephyr 7.
There is a utility for generating a fresh transponder code.
Okay.
I whisper in Absco's ear to just do that. And then I turn to Kira and say, "Aye, Captain, it's done."
You see like a flurry of fingers going up the panel.
Yes, you have successfully changed the transponder code.
All right, and then
the captain is Kira Comoran.
I walk over to Phaedra and I say, "So it seems to me that this science officer thing is not really working out for you."
No. Like my ears like droop down a little bit. I'm just like.
And as much as I love being an engineer, I do think that maybe we should change roles.
So perhaps switching roles?
Yeah.
Just the engineer and science officer.
I'll do that and be the gunner, I guess. So.
All right, so notably, let's do this. Phaedra is engineer, Angus is science officer. Anyone can hop on a gun at any time. You are leaving your station without someone, except for the captain, is what I'm kind of ruling here. The captain has limited ability, so some of your ability to like encourage crew members and things can still happen, but generally you're basically restricted to those kind of actions. You don't have access to taunt the enemy or whatever.
It's probably for the best.
It could be, but basically, you know, if say Phaedra hops on a gun, that just means she's not in engineering at the moment.
Right.
And then the next turn she can go, okay, well, I'm going to get off the gun and go to engineering.
Cool.
Okay.
That sounds good, but since you don't have computers and I do, it just makes sense if I'm going to do science officer. If someone's going to do science officer, it should be me.
Yeah.
I think that her bonus might be 1 more than yours to engineering.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So.
Like how we all got together and talked about who'd make what great crew members when we make characters? Yeah!
It's not our fault.
All right.
It's not our fault. We were stranded. It's not like we had a choice. We just did the jobs.
I mean, we all don't
Doing
have
my
resumes
best.
with us.
I don't know about y'all,
All
but
right.
I do.
I'm not surprised that Kira's like walking around with like resumes complete with headshots.
I got my binder.
So you say it's a Trapper Keeper, like a Lisa Frank one with like a rainbow unicorn.
That one's mine.
All right. So there's day 1 as a crew on the ship.
Go team.
Day 2.
I feel like we learned
Finds
a lot.
Feel like it. What are your plans on day 2? You should hit the Farbarium about halfway through day 2. So you've basically got half a day.
I'm still working on that door. I'll just be using a computer now to see if I can hack into it to get it open.
All right. Let's have a computers check.
Sure.
And Abso's gonna help, so.
18. No, it's got some good encryption.
Fine.
Make that a 20 with Absco's assistance, no, it's still got some really good encryption.
I love a good challenge.
Well, maybe he'll tell you his secrets later. I'm going back up to the bridge.
Oh no, we're on the bridge because I was just using the ship's computer to do this from my new station.
Bridge, that's the word I was looking for.
Bridge, yeah. Flight deck is a flight attendant word.
Yeah, you know, that thing. The place where everyone sits and yells commands. That place.
That's certainly not 10 forward.
Oh.
Right? Okay. So they're messing with the computer, trying to figure out this door. What about you two?
Can I repurpose one of the cargo bays as like into a med bay?
You can temporarily do it. You can get it refitted at a station for a full med bay, but yes, you can take one of the cargo bays, section it off, say this is the med bay, throw a few med things in there. It's not much better than a field hospital at that point, but it is something.
My specialty.
There you go.
I feel like Phaedra takes some duct tape, put it on the door, and he says, med bay.
Like the B is like backwards.
And then under that it says Dr. Phaedra.
Mood enhancer.
Oh.
Is that a noir joke? It's a mood enhancer.
Exactly. And what's our captain?
So I imagine that she's just sitting in the chair and her head is down and her eyes are closed, and it may look like she's asleep, but in reality she is complaining to her deity about Angus.
Yeah. You worship Desna, correct?
Exactly.
Oh, dearest Desna, I'm about to kill me this guy. All right. So, yep. You guys then see up ahead the Ferribarium. Quite obvious. It is definitely an old ship. In fact, it looks like an old warship. It is broadcasting to everyone that they have crazy deals. The best deals this side of the river that runs through the diaspora.
Awesome.
I'm tired already.
Well, for ExQueerience Points, I'm Miyu. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Miyu Plays Games. And Kelrick?
I'm Kelrick. You can find me at EQ Points.
I'm Taylor. You can find me on Twitter at Milky Games. It's GAYMES.
And I'm Megan. You can find me down at Dungeons and Meg on Twitter.
I'm Punder. You can find me on Twitter at Punderdrone, DRONE.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.